going on, man? We are back. Black in the building. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to the homegirl, Shawnee. Philly is in the building. Shout out to the homegirl, Erica. Florida, a.k.a. Florida, is definitely in the building. Shout out to everybody in the Vago handling business. Little Angelo, Tasha, everybody out there handling business in the Vago. Shout out to my brother, Dave for No Compromise, Joja in the building. James Youngblood, Texas is definitely in the building. Y'all need to go check out James Youngblood and my brother Dave for No Compromise. They really got shit popping. I sent that. I'm like, I'm not putting that thing we did on Twitter. I'm like, I'm sending this shit straight to David, man, because he was cooking on there. And I feel like more people will hear it because he's more active on social media than I am and on the IG side of the game. So shout out to my brother Dave for No Compromise. Shout out to the homegirl Melina all the way in North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka. We chop it up daily. Man, we gonna get it. Farewell. Let's get it. Let's get it. For real. Alright. Look, let me tell y'all something. Hey, first of all, let's get on that mayor that was trying to divert all them damn from the what is she, the LA city mayor or one of the mayors in California was trying to divert all the damn firefighter funds to some fucking goddamn immigrant program. So we gonna get on that first. Some democratic bullshit. Go read that shit. I don't know that lady's name, but it's like, damn dog, like these are firefighters. And then they wonder why firefighters be stealing and working all this extraordinary overtime and all these crazy shifts to get paid because you taking money out of their budget for some damn immigrants. Man, what kind of shit is that? And now all of a sudden Joe Biden want to work together with Donald Trump for the ceasefire. Nigga, you done tried to start I think it's the damn left side blowing up the goddamn Tesla goddamn cars in front of Trump towers. That's definitely some leftist bullshit. And then that fucking bullshit, that false flag in New Orleans, they gonna just drive a truck in there. Yeah, nigga, farewell. Get the fuck on, Joe Biden. You probably gonna go down as the worst president of all times. For real. For real. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Even left people don't even speak highly of Joe Biden. They like, oh my God, he was a nightmare. Yeah, he was a nightmare. You didn't even want to apologize for shit? Talking about ain't nobody but the law. Oh, my bad. Pardon my son. Yeah, man. Get your ass the fuck out of there. Golly. For real. The hell is going on? I'm sorry, y'all, but for all y'all that love Donald Trump, that not love Donald Trump, but all y'all that love Joe Biden, you're not gonna be happy with me on this. Joe Biden was horrible. He was the worst. And then Kamala, she didn't do no damn better because they didn't really give her a chance, and she didn't have great, in my personal opinion, she didn't have good strategists. You could tell Donald Trump, he had the best of the best strategists. He only did one debate. Somebody was in his ear like, no, they gonna crash and burn. You don't even say anything. Stay away from this topic, stay away from that topic. You don't even gotta do nothing outrageous no more. She gonna fuck it up for everybody. She gonna fuck it up for herself, and she did. So I just thought that was odd that how you gonna be the mayor and divert $20 million worth of funds from the fire department to some immigrant bullshit or whatever it is. That's not important. What are you doing? To me, that's the problem, man. Even at the Core Plantation, look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when people be talking about how far we come, be like, then why ain't it never no black American in charge of a Core Plantation? It's always somebody that's white. And don't nobody see nothing wrong with it. And of course, these people that ain't seen nothing wrong with it, it's because they didn't build this country for free. They got free labor. So they don't really care. And my question is, with all this racial tension, where the fuck is Tim Wise at? That everybody, where the fuck is he at? That's why I'd be like, oh, you want to be an ally? Then you better have the mentality of the burglary. Those people that broke into that FBI building. I'm not telling you to do nothing outrageous, but what I'm saying is have that mentality. Tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. They didn't have to post those not the Pentagon papers, but the COINTELPRO papers. They didn't have to do that. I'm telling y'all to go read that book. It's the book of Eli in this motherfucker. But it's a very good book. And I really think that people should read that book because at first it was kind of start off slow because she's giving you you know, her rendition of how she interviewed the people, of how their lives started off and all this other stuff. But once it got down to the nitty gritty, that shit got good. That's the type of allies we need, because they could have just broke into that building and damn near just destroyed all the files and never said anything and just went back to being them white tail. They like, hey man, what the fuck? COINTELPRO, the next Black Messiah, as they let him be the goddamn the head of the FBI for 40 years, the director of the FBI for 40 years. Man, the dominant society full of shit. Motherfuckers go march with you and then go back to their good neighborhoods with their good manicured lawns and act like they did something. And then get on the jury pool and vote a nigga guilty. So I don't want to hear none of that sucker shit. Farewell, Joe Biden. This for the 94 crime bill that you try to act like, oh, well, they wanted it, so that's why I did it. Nigga, you asked for 3 more minutes on the damn House Senate floor so you can talk about how we animals and super predators and thugs, and man, at least Hillary Clinton had the dignity to just apologize and say, hey, we got that wrong. As a matter of fact, where is Hillary? Right, exactly. Not gonna see her anymore. She's never, that's it. She's never resurfacing again because the internet is undefeated and people could just go ahead and dig up all the dirty laundry and bullshit that she was doing, her and her husband. So that's why you don't hear nothing about her. So you can keep that moving. And it's so funny, I find it with the damn fires that's going on in California, right? That you know somebody probably set those motherfuckers. But what I find quite funny is how Gavin Newsom is like, oh, I'm reaching out to Donald Trump. I don't think y'all understand how this works. Well, some people do and some people don't. And they teach you that in government in high school. Bro, your governor is the president of your state. Who he reports to is the president of the United States. Basically, that's kind of how it go. And when it comes to like FEMA, and when you declare a state an emergency and all that, y'all go into those funds for the state, those funds will run out quick. So you have to go to the president of the United States of America Incorporated, which will be the Trumpster, and he has to release those funds. But Gavin Newsom was up there talking that hoe shit, talking about we a sanctuary and we ain't gonna deport nobody. How we know ain't no immigrants set those fires? How do y'all not know that? How do y'all not know that the dominant society, which funds both sides of any type of political or any type of war, they gonna fund both sides? How we know they didn't fund somebody on the immigrant side to go set those fires? So it's nothing but chaos when he gets into office. It's called order out of chaos. How we know that ain't going on? You like, one, why you mean how you know that ain't going on? Man, let me tell you something. Fires ain't like that in no damn wintertime in no fucking California, man. So whoever's believing this shit, man, y'all better miss me. That shit is not realistic. People need to get out of the matrix. How you gonna say, oh, we're a sanctuary, basically like, fuck you, we not deporting them, and then turn around and be like, oh, if the president wants to come, we're declaring it. He nice, because if I was in Donald Trump's corner strategy as a strategist, I'd be like, you need to come out and say, this is why it's important for us to work together for the common good of the American people who have been paying taxes into this system and should be overly compensated when there's natural disasters. And we shouldn't be having to deal with 20 million illegal immigrants that are getting preferential treatment over the American people who have paid into this system for generations and generations and generations. We should have an abundance of money for emergencies like this for the American people. Well, what about the immigrants? The immigrants don't belong here in the first place. They are coming here for unearned benefits. And I'm sorry, because we've all benefited off of their unearned benefits. But at the end of the day, it is about the American people who have been paying into this system for eons and eons and eons. So it's a good thing that we work together on policies that are constructed for the betterment of the American people. Translation: Whole ass motherfucker. When I say we deporting everybody, you don't go out and say you got a sanctuary and now you need my fucking help. Stop acting like you big and bad, Gavin Newsom. Because California ain't looking too good. That's why a lot of Hollywood is running to Vegas. That's why a lot of people are running and moving to Vegas and fucking up Vegas's goddamn economy. Vegas done went from a gambling economy and a tipping economy and a customer service economy to like, fuck your tips, fuck customer service. We got a sports team here, so we don't have to do that shit no more. So yeah, I find it quite interesting and odd at the same time that all these fires would start in the wintertime in California? Man, come on. Come on. We are smarter than that. And it no matter who set the fires to it, don't choose a side. Like I said, they're just trying to muddy up the water so they can make, in my personal opinion, foundational black Americans make us feel like, oh, we chose wrong by not voting or voting for Donald Trump. No. The whole goddamn United States of America was rigged. And the reason why it was rigged because I think the left as well as the right thought, oh, we could just slide a woman in here now. An East Indian, and we can prop her up and make her pretend like she's black so she can cosplay as black. Cause you better think I young and member. Then she get around the Latinos. I love you too. Then she get around her own kind. Oh, I was raised East Indian. No shit, Sherlock. Man, I'm sorry, y'all, man, but I just like farewell speech. Man, I can't. Not that Donald Trump is not a part of the system of racism and white supremacy, but I can tell you this. At least I know what I'm getting with Donald Trump. This motherfucker right here. Did y'all see his hair? Look at that thumbnail that I put with his hair. I said, oh my God, this man got bedheads. Like it was like they just woke his ass up and was like, get your ass out there. You need to read what's on that screen. That's what they did. I think they was doing that the whole time he was in office. You need to read this. Because one time they let him walk off at the White House. He didn't know where the fuck he was going. And I was laughing my ass off. Y'all gotta understand this, man. If you listen to Dr. Claude Anderson, we don't have a political party because we are supposed to be voting our interests. So I don't know why people are getting caught up on this shit anyway. And you like, why you saying that, Warren? Because people look at you like, nah, I ain't gonna vote. I'm just gonna chill. Man, you don't vote. Man, how many times y'all heard me say this? You know how many people are trying to tell me this? Man, people that don't vote, man, they should be complaining. You know what my response is? My taxes tell me different. If I don't vote, they shouldn't take no motherfucking taxes out of my check. Then I won't say nothing. And then I gotta go along with whatever y'all say. But if I'm not voting and they still taking taxes out my motherfucking check to support all these different racial immigrant classes that are taking preferential treatment over foundational black Americans who are owed and deserved a repayment for what we've put into this country and this landmass, no. You're not gonna take taxes out of my check and then think I ain't gonna complain. What kind of sucker shit is that? Go to these welfare offices. Man, ain't nothing but immigrants. Sorry, it ain't. And see, you know what I don't like about the dominant society? Follow me with this one, James Youngblood, David, Tasha, all y'all, follow me with this one. You know what I don't like? You know what they do? The dominant society be doing some sucker shit too. You know what they do? It's called order out of chaos in the meaning in terms of this. They have created such a lane and framed this narrative that when you say immigrant, motherfuckers just think we talking about Latinos. Y'all ain't noticed that? No, we talking about the black motherfuckers too. So if you from Haiti and Dominican Republican and the Puerto Rico, and you an immigrant, you out of here. To me, no. You're here for unearned benefits. But they've done such a great job of attaching immigrant to the Latino community. Well, to any Latino brothers and sisters, let me tell you, my views are just like Mr. Trump. I don't give a fuck what you look like. If you're here illegally and you doing some bullshit and you are eating off of this system that my ancestors and my sister's ancestors and all my cousins and ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears went into this landmass and hanging and lynchings and segregation, all this. I said, no, I don't give a fuck what color you are. And it isn't to no particular racial group. It's who's ever an immigrant in here illegally. And even if you are here legally and you have found a way to eat off of this system and then turn around and talk shit about Black American, foundational American, you need to be deported too, because you're just as divisive as anyone else. And you say, well, Warren, why should they be deported? Because if we can't trace your lineage back to the antebellum period, then you're just like everybody else. You're an anchor. You're an anchor baby. Or you had anchor babies. So you can stay in this country and benefit and not work for the benefits. And that is not fair to anybody, whether they're dominant society or foundational Black American. If you are from this country and your lineage traces all the way back to there, and you're not getting benefits that are just due to you, and you're watching your benefits go to immigrants, I don't think that that's a great situation for foundational Black Americans or the dominant society. And I think it's a disservice to foundational Black Americans. You like, Warren, why you saying it's a disservice? Because we built the country for free without repayment. That's why I don't fuck with a Jane Elliott. Jane Elliott already told you. She tried to tell this dude, he had this podcast called Socks and Sandals, and he interviewed her. It's still on YouTube. And she was like, well, if you want reparations, well, what about the Native Americans? That brother was like, the Native Americans already got their reparations. They already got their reservations and their hotels and all that. They already made their deal. I'm talking about what's owed to Black people. She was like, well, do you want what they got? No. You get what you negotiate. They negotiated that bullshit. We're negotiating something bigger. And that's why I don't fuck with Jane Elliott or Tim Wise, because they'll speak to you shit that you pretty much already know. Like Neely Fuller Jr. I really want y'all to see if y'all can find this video. It's Neely Fuller Jr. and it's Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. They're the two who coined, I think she got it from Neely Fuller, if I'm not mistaken, David and James. She's the one who got it from Neely Fuller Jr. about him coining the term the dominant society dominating 9 areas of people activity. I think it was Neely Fuller and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing kind of coming together on that, because I think she says she got it from him, and I think Neely Fuller kind of came up with it, but that's neither here nor there. He talks, it's a video, and I want y'all to go look this shit up, and I'm jump off this motherfucker. There's a video of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and Neely Fuller Jr. going in on Tim Wise in such an educated way, such an intelligent way. I had to listen to it a couple of times. And I'm gonna say this, like I said, I'm gonna get off. Tim Wise went somewhere and said, they asked him about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's the Welsing's theory, genetic annihilation and all this other stuff, and her teachings and her research, which is dope, by the way. And he was like, oh, I think Dr. Frances Cress Welsing stuff is pseudoscience bullshit. So when it got back to Neely Fuller Jr. and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, they did a podcast about it. And somebody was recording them, and they knew they were being recorded. And I had to listen to it a couple of times. Neely Fuller Jr. was like, we have to understand how the white supremacists work. Because that's how he say white supremacists, he say supremacists. And the Honorable Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said it so eloquently. Y'all got to look at us. She was just like, we have to, she talks very soft. And she just basically was like, we got to be mindful of the type of dominant society people we have come around us. We don't need a history lesson on, because Neely Fuller Jr. had told her, yeah, we don't need no history lesson of white supremacy. We know what that is. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing basically was like, tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. We don't need you telling us about slavery, Tim Wise, and segregation. We got enough Black people that can teach Black people about that. What are you saying when we're not in the room? What's going on? How are you putting people in positions to win? And she was basically telling us be mindful of those type of people because they have a preacher-like mentality. I had to listen to it. Go listen to it. I had to listen to it like about 10 times because she was breaking down the game of like, you know, we are drawn to that preacher-like mentality. And we basically, her and Neely Fuller was basically saying, you know, with that preacher-type mentality and pastor-like mentality, if you possess that, we hold you in a higher regard. And that's some real shit. I didn't come up with that. I got that listening to her. And basically, like, we have to be mindful of that because people will come amongst us and be like Tim Wise. I remember my mama and my daddy told me about I shouldn't be looking at people like that because if they black and they get along with my mama and my dad, and I was never a fan, not because he's dominant society, because I felt like, well, we already know that. What are you doing to replace the system? You know what I'm saying? Like a Jane Elliott, she just is a shock value type of person, but she still stands on the side of white supremacists. So I'm not fooled by her either. That's why I always bring up Keith Forsyth and all those people that were in that book, The Burglary. Those are white dominant society people. And when they leaked the COINTELPRO papers, they didn't have to delete those COINTELPRO papers, but they did it anyway. So since they did it, they were telling us what was being said when we weren't in the room. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna give Joe Biden no farewell. He's awful to black people. Awful. Him and his son, awful. Look, his son got privilege and was smoking crack in a damn strip club, committed a federal crime by lying on a damn application to get a damn gun, and he was doing drugs. Isn't that like two things that was a part of the 94 crime deal? The mandatory minimums and all that shit. Ain't that crazy? And you had the nerve to have a farewell speech. Your farewell speech should be get the fuck on. That's what your farewell speech should be. You and your son and the rest of your raggedy ass dope fiend family. Man, up there locking up black people for mandatory minimums and all these drug laws and gun laws and shit. And your whole family ain't nothing but an organized crime. Well, not that organized if your son in the damn strip club smoking crack. I'm like, damn it, didn't none of them strippers be like, y'all know this nigga here smoking crack? Yeah, them must have been white strippers. That'd been black, that'd been some sisters. Them sisters been like, man, he over there smoking crack. You're not allowed to do that. But I'm just saying, just think about it. Who sets those fires? Because that just didn't naturally happen in California. And you like, damn, Warren, why are you talking about? Because I'm going to make it all relate like this. Left wing, right wing, one bird shitting on foundational black Americans' heads. No matter what. They set all those fucking fires. And now you're going to see the haves and the have-nots. Because the have-nots, they got to pack up and go the fuck wherever they fucking can. And the haves, they could just go into somebody else's hills and live and buy their shit. This is what I mean. That's why people are running away from California. It's unaffordable. And they're running to Vegas and fucking up their economy. And then all the Vegas people are running to places like Georgia and Texas. You know what I'm saying? And places like that in Tennessee and North Carolina and fucking up their economy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we need these interest rates to come down. How they gonna come down in all these damn house fires and shit and fires? Guess what? If you live in California, go try to buy a house now and get home insurance and you up in the hills. It's going to be through the roof. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said both parties work together. We don't know. That could be a false flag. Whoever is, in my personal opinion, lighting those fires, gotta be somebody from the left. Who the fuck is burning up a Tesla in front of Trump Towers? That's so predictable. The left, they're morons. They're just, you could tell they were morons by how they was trying to push Kamala on everybody. You better think I young remember. Who told her to say that? Then you know what I noticed about the left too? They didn't have no problem having Megan the motherfucking non-reader stallion get up there and twerk and jump around and act like a domesticated primate because that's how they see us. They should have been like, I'll come and I'll speak, but I ain't shaking my ass and doing all that because I don't like the way it looks. But you know what? It's Meg the Stallion. She gonna get mad and try to sue her record label because she didn't read her contract. and didn't take it to a lawyer that had him read the contract. Talking about, oh, I didn't have no money. Well, how much was the deal for? $10,000. $10,000, Megan Thee Stallion. Golly, stop. It would have cost you $10,000 to go to a lawyer, so that's probably why you didn't take it to a lawyer. But Google is your friend when you came out. You couldn't have Googled those legality terms? Come on, Meg Thee Stallion. Go sit down. And y'all notice all these leftists, like Stacey Abrams and all them. Stacey Abrams even had the nerve to come out. Stacey Abrams, you look just like the Pine Sol lady. Stop and shut the fuck up with the bullshit. Nobody wants to hear you about anything. That's why you ain't heard from Keisha LaMamie Bottoms. Remember all them Democratic shills? You ain't gonna hear from none of these Democrats anymore. They gotta come with another plan because it's over with. We know what the fuck y'all doing, and we know we've been knowing what the Republicans is about. So that doesn't offend me when they be like, see, that Republican racist, and the whole damn party is racist, and so is the Democratic Party. Just remember that. When you think about the fire department, think about that funky ass mayor who was diverting funds from the fire department to some damn immigrant bullshit. Even if it isn't immigrant bullshit, why are you moving funds from their budget? You need firefighters to do anything. You see what I'm saying? Remember that. When a governor is speaking, listen to what he's saying. We're a sanctuary, so we're not getting it. So basically, fuck all the Americans that live in California that can't get jobs because they competing with immigrants. Fuck them, huh? That's why I'm always say it like this. The dominant society, as David from No Compromise says, they're the masters of confusion. I'm out of here. Peace.